So ask and answer about your ongoing activities, daily routine. The morning routine was already done. Now in the afternoons, discussing about afternoons on weekends and holidays. Please think about the things you do in the afternoon. And your activities will decide what kind of a person you are. If you're saying after lunch I sleep for 3 to 4 hours, it means you are wasting a lot of time. So the question is, how do you spend your afternoons? First, the very basic questions. When do you have lunch? What do you prefer having? What do you like having? And then we'll quickly switch over to what are your other activities in the afternoon? Means the question, how do you spend your afternoons? What are your other activities? Holidays, छुट्टियों में, holidays में, दिन में आप क्या करना पसंद करते हैं, क्या करना चाहिए और क्या पसंद करते हैं? There's a huge difference. Many people just have lunch and they will just have lunch and then will go to sleep for 3 to 4 hours. But that makes them so lazy when they get up in the evening. They are all full of laziness. Isn't it? So let us discuss what are the things you should do in the afternoons. What is the best way to spend your afternoons? How will you make good use of your afternoons? It is the same as you may take a power nap for about 5-10 minutes. You may doze off for some time, like half an hour at most. But you will not go to sleep for about 2 to 3 to 4 hours. So it is similar to when you get up early in the morning. When you get up in the wee hours, you are giving yourself an extra time. In this extra time, you can do whatever you want to do. You can spend the time as per your liking, as per your interest. Those who get up early in the morning, they have a complete 2 hours in their hands before sunrise, because then everybody will get up and they will all start their duties, their daily routine. So you might get disturbed. So how will you make full use of your afternoons? What do you like doing and what you should be doing are two different things. So think about what you should be doing. Showing you the questions. So when do you have lunch? When do you have lunch? What is the proper time for having lunch? Yes, what? Give me the time. So I have my lunch between I generally there is no specific time for lunch. Like whenever, if you have taken your, if you have had your breakfast, then you might like to have a little lunch a little later, like 1 or 1:30 or even maybe 2. But the best time to have lunch is anytime between 12:30 and 1:30. So the next question is, write down the answer. I normally have lunch. I usually have lunch. I make it a point to have lunch. I make it a point. I make sure to eat before. I make it a point. I make sure. I make it a point to eat before. I make sure to eat So these are the different ways you will be speaking. I normally have lunch at 1. I usually have lunch. I generally have lunch. I make it a point to eat before 1. I make sure to eat whenever lunch is ready. अब जब बनेगा तभी तो खाएंगे ना. So I make sure to eat I make sure to eat as soon as it is prepared. Now what does this mean? नहीं, the point is to have piping hot food. Piping का मतलब होता है बहुत, मतलब जैसे बना. इंग्लिश में एक एक्सप्रेशन है पाइपिंग हॉट. Yes, I like to have piping hot coffee. मतलब जब उसमें से स्टीम निकल रहा हो. पाइपिंग. कोरोना डेज में आपको एडवाइस तो करते होंगे ना कि हाँ ईट. इनको बहुत हंसी आ रही है, उनको थोड़ा हमको बताना पड़ेगा. और जो वापस नहीं मिला. पढ़ाई चालू आपको नहीं आता. पहले कैसा कोई टाइम पास नहीं हो रहा है. पार्टी और बताया मिनिमम फाइटिंग और मिनिमम फाइटिंग और मैंने क्या बताया अभी. कोई हम सब पूछेंगे नहीं जवाब दिए लास्ट ईयर यहाँ कंप्लेंट आ रहा है. So the term piping hot means extremely hot, steaming hot. During Corona days, the doctors must have advised you to eat food as soon as it's cooked. Why? Because the food which is left can attract a lot of bacteria. So your food is prepared, when it is prepared, it is free of any kind of germs. And when you eat piping hot, that clears the germs from your body inside also. Anything hot can kill bad bacteria. Right? There was one person whom I met. There was a spiritual guru whom I met. And when I went to his place, let me talk to you. So when I went to his place one afternoon, and there was the lunch, it was during his dinner. If you have to ask anything, you can raise your hands. So it was lunchtime, and he had called us. Why don't you all come and meet? So I went with my brother and my sisters. We all went there. So food was already served for him. So when we went, he ordered food for all of us. So the food which came was like, when I saw the rice and dal and vegetables, extremely hot. And he did not ask for a spoon to eat. And they said, your fingers should dip into the food. And if your fingers can bear the heat, that food is the best food you can eat. Let there be a burning sensation, because that burning sensation will kill all the germs in your fingers. And when you start eating, so to make it a point, that one, I think this is almost 20 years from now. 20 years from now. And I still remember, okay, whenever you eat food, it should be piping hot. Yeah. Not that somebody has made food and left it, and you will go and eat whenever you are eating food which is prepared, say 2 hours back, what you do, you reheat. But when you're reheating, you are killing a lot of good bacteria also. Isn't it? So try to eat the moment you cook it. In olden days, there were people, who used to go and cook in the kitchen. Normally, housewives or the elderly of the house, like, they used to go and cook, because they never, they ate food only cooked with their own hands. They will not allow anybody else to cook for them. So they used to go inside and they used to cook food, eat, and then come out of the kitchen, and then everybody else used to have food. So the best food to be taken is piping hot. New term मैंने दे दिया आपको. I like piping hot coffee. So anything which is, the taste is enhanced ninefold when you eat something which is really hot. Get that straight. So while I was writing the answers, I remembered his saying कि खाना बिल्कुल गरम खाना चाहिए आपके fingers में. And I used to, the moment the food came, he started, with his, and was eating it. And we were sitting like, waiting, like, no, how? And so the best time to eat food when it is piping hot. So the answer can be, what time do you normally have food? I normally have food. I make it a point to eat as soon as it is cooked. As eating piping hot food is always good for health. So what do you like having? If you happen to be a vegetarian, or if you happen to be non-vegetarian, Of course, as I told you in the very beginning, you can have a heavy breakfast, a little lighter lunch, and still lighter dinner. But here in India, what happens? We have, we just break the fast with a little bit of something. Lunch, we eat so much, and then we go to sleep. And then at night, we eat a little more. So it's all ulta pulta for us. But normally, people abroad, बाहर के लोग क्या रात में खाते ही नहीं है. सपर उनका हो जाता है 6-7 बजे. That's it final. तो उन लोग का कोर्स डिनर होता है ना, खा लेते हैं, फिर then they after some time they have something sweet, कुछ डेजर्ट होता है, कुछ मीठा तो जरूर खाते हैं. And सोने के पहले they have coffee. I don't what is the idea of drinking coffee at night? I don't know, because coffee is that kind of a drink which wakes you up. It stimulates your mind. We need coffee. We take a lot of coffee breaks at CIMAGE College. And we keep on ordering, yes, coffee. Because it keeps us awake. And but I do not understand the concept of drinking coffee after dinner. After dinner, it is dessert, something sweet, and then coffee. So what do you prefer having? I prefer having I always like having something healthy, something interesting, something healthy. अब खाने में क्या interesting हो सकता है? Something interesting खाने में क्या होता है interesting? कुछ नया, कुछ जायके वाला. Even I remember, again I'll tell you a story. My mother was suffering from cancer, and she was being treated at Mumbai. Mumbai, my sister lives in Mumbai. So we all went there. After the operation, we all went there. So I went from Patna after about 20 days. So I said, I'm going to make some snacks. She was back from the hospital. So she looked at me, you're making snacks, you're making something. हाँ, हिंदी में मैंने कहा कि जा रहे कुछ बनाने जा रहे, कुछ नाश्ता बनाने जा रहे. My mother looked at me and said, कुछ interesting बनाना. I'm like, okay, I know what you mean. With her kind of interesting is make suji ka halwa with a lot of ghee, and some yeah. And my mother used to have very rich food. Rich food का मतलब जैसे वैसे कुछ भी नहीं. चाय भी अगर उनको चाहिए होता था, तो not that हम लोग the tea that I used to make, green Lipton or something, इसमें ज़्यादा पानी कम and flavor वाली चाय. But with my mother, it was just the opposite. If you have to have ulta था उसका, इतना 1 cup में इतना दूध होना चाहिए, and well, that's it. So she liked it that way. So I remember her words when I said, I'm going to make something. जा रहे कुछ बनाने, हम जा रहे कुछ बनाने, कुछ नाश्ता बनाने. She said, make something. In English, she said, make something interesting. And I know what you mean. So I just went and made suji ka halwa with a lot of ghee when frying. After I finished that halwa, I served on the plate, and again I put 2 tablespoons of ghee, and then that is the way she liked it. I remember after just 1 month she died, but these are the things that I remember, like doing something for her which made her happy. So something interesting means कुछ अच्छा बनाओ यार नाश्ता, डेली का सब्जी पराठा नहीं खाना है. Make something interesting. So learn cooking. So something interesting. These are the terms आप use करेंगे because हम लोग आम भाषा में use करते हैं. हम बता तो रहे हैं कि my mother used to speak like that because normally we always spoke English. My mother also was a lecturer in psychology, professor in psychology. So घर में सब कुछ मिल जाता था. सीखने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ी स्कूल में. स्कूल जाने के पहले ही बहुत कुछ था जो कि अब अभी भी अपडेटेड है। तो अपडेटेड वोकैबुलरी इतने उम्र से ही जान रहे हैं कि क्या क्या बोला जाता है और कैसे कैसे बोला जाता है। तो the environment tells you all. It's not only grammar. Grammar is just a little bit of rules and regulations, but you will learn English by listening. कोई अमेरिकन थोड़ी ना इंग्लिश बोलने के लिए ग्रामर सीखता है क्या? तुम हिंदी बोलने के लिए ग्रामर सीखे थे क्या? नहीं ना, it just came naturally. So English बोलने के लिए you just need to be there. You just need to be in an environment where people speak English and make it a habit. English is only again and again we are telling you, English is a habit. Grammar you need to pass exams. But माहौल अगर बनाएंगे इंग्लिश का तो फिर सुन के सीखेंगे. Sometimes I say grammar is a must when you're writing. In spoken also, जब आप सही बोलने लगेंगे, जब आप सही सुनेंगे तभी आप सही बोलेंगे. Listen to a lot of news in English. They will never go wrong. Listen to your teachers. They will never go wrong. So listening is something which is going to help you immensely, greatly. So something interesting. So I like to have something interesting. Not something interesting, not every day, but sometimes you want to break the rule. You want to order something from Swiggy. Something today I don't want to cook, so let us order from Swiggy. You know, there was an ad in the Swiggy. Swiggy के लिए एक ad था, ठीक है? We want a 4-bedroom apartment, but sorry, we don't want a kitchen. Because we are ordering food from the Swiggy all the time, so we don't require a kitchen. That was such a wonderful ad for Swiggy. My God. So, what do you prefer having? Healthy breakfast, inclusive of का मतलब included, inclusive of. Okay, what is the best time to eat fruits? So I include fruit, seasonal fruit, whatever it is. तो टेक्निकली आप जाने कि कौन सी चीज खाने के वक्त खाया जाता है, कौन सी चीजें नहीं खानी चाहिए. You will not have curd or yogurt in the night. You will have it in the afternoon. दिन में क्या क्या चीजें खानी चाहिए? What are the things to be taken at the daytime? Healthy food. Sprouts you can have it in the morning. You can have a salad for sprouts. If you're health conscious, you will not. You will avoid oil and all that. So you prefer having healthy breakfast, a light breakfast followed with fruits. All right. Then now the most important question: how do you spend your afternoons? Or it can be what are your activities in the afternoon? कौन बात कर रहा है पीछे? What are your activities in the afternoon? Yes, what? बात नहीं करने की सलाह दे रहे हैं इसको. फोन निकाल के दिखा रहा है. क्या कर लेगा क्या? What are your other activities in the afternoon? नहीं होने वाला. क्या करना सारा गरम है क्यों ऑन की और किसने अपोनी कर लिया आपको सबको नहीं करेंगे राजीव जी कौन चेक करें सब लोग कौन चेक करें सब कौन हो सबको चेक करें देखो देखो कौन सब all right, may I have your attention again? Take out your phone, everybody. निकाल के रखो सब अपना फोन. So what are your other activities in the afternoon? Other activities क्या हो सकता है? You take a nap. Take a nap का मतलब क्या होता है? थोड़ी देर हम सोते हैं. तो अब बुलेट्स में डाल दीजिए एक्सप्रेशंस. I take a nap का मतलब होता है थोड़ी देर सोते हैं, झपकी लेना. NAP nap. 1 minute. I enjoy 40 winks. 40 winks का मतलब होता है वो नींद जो कुर्सी पे बैठ के, सोफे पे बैठ के, जो बिस्तर पे नहीं, जो कहीं पेपर पढ़ रहे नींद आ गई, क्लास में नींद आ गई. 40 winks. I enjoy 40 winks. I take an afternoon siesta. Siesta. ये सारे टर्मिनोलॉजी आप सीखिए. These are common words. दिन में सोना. I take an afternoon siesta. I take a power nap. These are the expressions you are using for आप थोड़ी देर झपकी लेते हैं, थोड़ी देर सो जाते हैं आप. For a short while. नहीं है. क्या कर लोगे? हम लोग ऐसे ही हैं. We don't trust anybody but ourselves. ये एक और है सर. ये सब जमा कर दीजिए रिसेप्शन. ये भी मेरे. So what are your other activities in the afternoon? तो पहले सबसे पहले तो खाना पीने खा करके आप थोड़ी देर I take a nap. This was a sting operation for the mobile. And thank you. What's your name? Thank you. Yes, very good. So I take a nap. What is the difference between taking a nap and enjoying 40 winks?
In 40 weeks, we sit at a place and if suppose I'm reading a newspaper.
नींद आ जाती है, झपकी आ जाती है, टीवी देख रहे हैं, हाँ, बहुत लोग ट्रेन पे जा रहे हैं, आपके कंधे पे झुक जाएंगे। वो तो क्लासरूम में, तो वो नींद जो आप बिस्तर से बाहर लेते हैं, 40 winks, यू विल नेवर गेट सच एक्सप्रेशंस और कहीं समझ में आपको मिल रहा है, यूज कीजिएगा, हम लोग तो यूज करते हैं। लाइक आई सेड, माय मदर सेड मेक समथिंग इंटरेस्टिंग। सो अब काम की बात पे कहते हैं, आते हैं। आई कंप्लीट माई बैकलॉग्स, मतलब जो मेरा होमवर्क बाकी है, जो मेरा बैकलॉग्स बाकी है, वो हम कंप्लीट करते हैं। आई कंप्लीट माई बैकलॉग्स, जो मैं काम जो बाकी रह गया, जो पूरा नहीं हुआ है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल आइडिया बैंक नहीं लिखे हैं 4-5 दिन से, उसको बैठ के हम करेंगे। कोई असाइनमेंट मैंने पूरा नहीं किया है, उसको हम करेंगे। कहीं कुछ मिसिंग है, कहीं कुछ एक्स्ट्रा पढ़ना है, वो करेंगे। तो पहले काम की बात है, थोड़ी देर सो गए, उठ के फ्रेश हो गए, फिर अपना क्या क्या मेरा बाकी था, आई डू माई होमवर्क। अपना होमवर्क करते हैं। I invest time on studies. I invest time on studies. Now recreation पे आते हैं। I watch कोई मूवी देख लेते हैं। I watch a movie. I read my favorite book, novel or whatever. I listen to music. I keep up with my hobbies. तो इसमें क्या हो गया, इंटरेस्ट और हॉबीज जो भी है, वो टाइम मिलता है आप कर लेते हैं उसको। So I complete my backlogs, I do my homework, I invest time on studies, I watch a movie. Either और कर सकते हैं, I either watch a movie. I either watch a movie or my favorite show on TV. यहाँ पर either और का यूज किया हुआ है। I either watch a movie or watch my favorite show on TV. या तो मैं मूवी देखता हूँ या फिर टीवी में कोई शो देखता हूँ अपना। तो नॉर्मली आफ्टरनून में यही सब लोग करते हैं। कोई वर्कआउट नहीं करता है, कोई जॉग नहीं करता है, कोई घर से बाहर भी नहीं निकलता है। और यू स्पेंड क्वालिटी टाइम विथ योर पेरेंट्स। These expressions will help you in your interview. I spend quality time with my family. कोई एक्सप्रेशन समझ में नहीं आई है, you can ask. तो समझ में आता. 1 to 1. Very good. What is the meaning of I take an afternoon siesta? This tea is not piping hot, so I'm keeping it aside. Done? How do you spend your afternoons? Who is laughing all the time? In the next class, maybe your exam, I'll be taking your exam, but maybe when you start your regular class, BCA, EKU, BCom, BBA, this will continue even after that. ऐसी बात नहीं है कि इसके बाद खत्म हो जाएगा. This will continue because there are 71 lessons. By the time you will cover 71 lessons, you can talk about almost anything under the sun. The lesson, the module completes, almost includes everything.
And none of the questions will be asked within that script.
71 lessons, and there are more than 10, 13, 14 lessons in questions in one lesson. So imagine so many questions you will have answered. On completing this module, you will have answered, I don't know how many questions you may have, you will have answered. And the vocabulary update. See, one lesson gives you so much of vocabulary, no? These vocabulary, this terminology, maybe you may not have heard. But this is the way we are speaking. This is what we are using in our day-to-day life. 9th question आ रहा है. Next question आप लिख ही लेंगे. Evenings के बाद about evening तक हम यहाँ पर रुक रहे हैं. What do you do in the evenings? Another very interesting question is, my evenings are very interesting. अब evenings हर किसी का interesting हो ये जरूरी नहीं है. शाम लोग घर में बिताना नहीं चाहते हैं. शाम हुआ नहीं कि लड़के या लड़कियां भी पता नहीं कहाँ जाना है, लेकिन बस निकल जाना है. पता the same thing.
Ma'am, I am saying that you is missing in that line.
Yeah. How are your evenings? What do you do in the evenings? तो सबसे पहले तो आंसर आता है, I hang out with my friends. दोस्तों के साथ समय बिताते हैं. The term is I hang out. It means I spend time with. What do you? Or you can answer, how are your? How are your evenings? आपके evenings कैसे हैं? My evenings are very interesting. सबसे पहले तो आता है I hang out. I hang out with my friends. या आप अपने दोस्तों के घर जाते हैं या उन्हें अपने घर पे बुलाते हैं. Translate this in English. Lost in translation. Let us play this. या तो मैं उन्हें बुलाती हूँ या मैं उनके घर जाती हूँ. Either और तो लगेगा ही.
Either I go to my friend's house or otherwise.
Otherwise.
Or I call her.
Okay.
Or I call them.
Either और बनाना सीखिए. Either I go over to my friends. इतना ही काफी है. I go over to my friends. Understood? A friend's house. ठीक है. Either I go over to my friend's house or I have them over. Or I have them over. या तो उनके घर जाता हूँ मैं या मैं हमारे घर. और आप क्या क्या करते हैं आप जब बताएंगे. I go, we go to eateries. फिर आप लोग क्या करते हैं. कुछ खाने पीने जाते हैं. नहीं. We go to eateries. और क्या करते हैं. eateries मतलब खाने पीने. eateries कहा जाता है. We go to eateries, go for walks. We go to eateries, we go for evening walks, or simply talk about interesting things of mutual interest. Or simply talk about fascinating things of mutual interest. How you need to change your vocabulary all the time. Now this was morning and evening. How many questions? Number of questions. ये सारे क्वेश्चंस मुझे आपको याद होने चाहिए. तभी आप you can come into a conversation with me or anybody. You want to talk to me? Come with the questions I gave you. इसमें से कोई भी चीज समझ में नहीं आया है? ऐसी बात है? Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Fine.
Yes.
2 सेकंड ले लीजिए. Try to understand the questions, try to answer the questions. The answers already I have given you. I've given you the helpline. It is your time to prepare yourself for the future. Right? That's it for today.